Yes, Sonic Heroes is canonically before Sonic Battle, even though the game came out before Heroes. Trust me, I'm still going chronologically according to the canon. So, let's just dive in. With the beliefs and ideas she used to firmly believe in shaken a bit, Cream decides to stay in the lives of her new friends. She's taken a liking to Amy Rose, the spunky, love-struck girl with a hammer, a temper, and a can-do attitude. Also, she's met another character, Big the Cat, a simple, gentle giant with a frog for a pal and a lazy life. And wow, I just have to say that Sega actually did a great job with pairing these three up. Think about it. Amy Rose has become the lead female character of the series. She's come into her own. What better way to show that than by giving her a sidekick? You know you've hit the big time when you've got a sidekick. Just ask Batman, Superman, don't ask Aquaman, The Flash, and any number of big-time superheroes. Except Aquaman. Amy needs someone to play off of other than Sonic, because if she doesn't have anyone else, she's in danger of becoming who she is currently, a one-dimensional character. All she does is obsess over Sonic nowadays. Old Amy, I miss you so much. Anyway, Cream, yeah. She allows Amy to show her other traits. She's maternal, she's strong, she's tough, and she believes that anyone can be strong and tough because she didn't start out as the well-rounded girl she is today. And Cream was hungry for someone with qualities like these to encourage her to be stronger too. Now, Amy and Big's relationship is a bit of a mystery officially, but allow me to speculate what I think happened. Big's last appearance with Amy was in Sonic Adventure, where he gave Sonic a Chaos Emerald, or it's implied that he gave Sonic a Chaos Emerald, along with Amy and all the other characters. Sonic used the emeralds to go Super Saiyan so he can beat the niceness back into perfect chaos, and after the day is saved, she probably thanks him for giving up his lucky charm to Sonic. Maybe she gives him another lucky charm or something, and they start hitting it off after that. But that's just my interpretation. As far as Big and Cream's relationship, Big is one of the strongest characters in the series, but he is the most reluctant to fight outside of Cream herself. He's easygoing, he's gentle, and his hobby is fishing, like one of the most non-violent sports in existence. Who else in the cast would she be comfortable with hanging around? Once she met him, it was probably the easiest thing in the world to just sit back and talk with him pleasantly. Whereas Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and basically everyone else would be more comfortable with going on an adventure, training, or doing something else violent. Cream is, at this point in her story, unsure of what she's believed in all of her life. She's in the company of violent people, but they're also good people, something she has trouble wrapping her head around. Cream probably feels conflicted about herself and her friends. They aren't prim and proper like her, but they were the ones that rescued and protected her and her mother. They saved the world with violence, so she's thankful for them, yet confused by them. Again, this is just subconsciously, she's only a child. She's probably not thinking this deeply about her new friends or the direction her life is going in. She's just intrigued and impressed by them and wants to spend time with nice people. However, as the hero's plot kicks in, we learn that someone else she cares about has been kidnapped again. This time, Chocolate Cheese's brother, apparently? Along with Big's friend Froggy. Hey, Froggy, it's Froggy. Hey, he's back. Yay. What a joyous occasion this is. They've been taken by, get this, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, this had to be confusing for Cream. Like, I know I said she's questioning her beliefs right now, but this had to be a completely bewildering moment for her. The guy who worked so hard to rescue her and her mother has suddenly decided to take Chocola and Froggy for no discernible reason. That makes no sense. Plus, she's gotten to know Amy, a Sonic the Hedgehog fangirl and expert on all things Sonic the Hedgehog, so she has to know Sonic pretty well at this point. She has to know that this isn't something Sonic would do. Nevertheless, it was time for a rescue mission once more, and with Amy, someone that Cream has said is the strongest woman she knows, and Big, definitely the biggest and physically strongest person she knows, on her side, she knows they can rescue their friends. However, now that there are less people in the group, she knows she's going to have to support them even more than she did last time, and she does so by being the flight character in the Heroes formation. Also ingenious of Heroes to make the flight characters the least effective combat-wise. Think about it. In Heroes, when you're the speed or the power type, without leveling up at all, you can defeat enemies pretty easily. With the fly type though, their attacks are more for stunning purposes than actual damage. Plus, it's not too easy attacking in the flight formation most of the time. At least not for me. I found it much more natural and fun to use the speed character and the power character for combat. So thinking about that from Cream's perspective, isn't that the perfect role for her to take in this group? What's more, in Heroes, the fly character almost never directly attacks anyone. They always propel their teammates at the enemies, and the teammate defeats that enemy. Sure, it can be argued that Cream in this game is technically fighting these robots and the Robotnik bosses, but even so, I didn't name this section Skirting the Line by accident. I truly believe that Cream's inclusion to Team Rose has given her, at least in her mind, license to use at least a minimal amount of force on this adventure. After all, her original beliefs that violence solves nothing and is wrong have been proven to be incorrect in Sonic Advance 2. Cream right now probably thinks even though violence is bad, if she only uses a little force to help her friends beat the bad guys and rescue her other friends, it should be fine. Right? Throughout the game, Team Rose meets with Robotnik, Team Sonic, and Team Chaotix for physical confrontations. Note, this is very different from simply flying her friends over a drop to get the team moving through the environment safely, and this is very different from stunning robots who can't feel, can't be reasoned with, and have orders to eliminate her and her friends. These are people. People who had problems with Team Rose in some way or another and wanted to fight because of it. Let's look at these interactions. First, we've got Dr. Robotnik. Now, Cream associates this man with danger for obvious reasons. He's shown to be nothing but cruel, crazy, and completely violent. Cream obviously has no problem breaking his big mech, but she is still only trying to stun and stop attacks. She's not trying to actually hurt him. It's not really about him. It's about keeping her team safe. Amy and Big are the ones attacking and threatening. Cream's in-game dialogue toward Robotnik is only about telling him to stop and assuring him that they won't give up until they rescue their friends.
For Chocola, we have to win! They broke Dr. Eggman's machine! Dr. Eggman, please stop being bad! Dr. Eggman, you shouldn't cause so much trouble! Dr. Eggman, I really think you should give up! Dr. Eggman's machine is so fast, I can hardly keep up! I might be able to stop the machine with Thundershoot! Dr. Eggman, please don't interrupt us! There's no end to these robots! Dr. Eggman, please give up! I think we should take care of the cannons first. Maybe we can momentarily stop the cannons' attack with my Thundershoot. I'll go and stop them from moving. I'll never let you take Cheese from me. I'll never forgive you for this. I won't quit until Cheese and Chocola are reunited. I can't believe you would do such a thing. I wonder if Eggman will give Chocola back. It's quite overwhelming. I've got to pull myself together.
Compare her lines toward Robotnik to Amy's and Big's lines toward Robotnik. There's a notable difference between them. Next, they encounter Team Sonic, her friends. With only the newspaper article and picture to go on, she and Big believe that Team Sonic has Chocola and Froggy, and is about to ask if Sonic really has them. Before they can talk it out, though, Amy starts a fight with Team Sonic, and the rest of the two teams just start fighting. They just go at it. Now, if you listen carefully and drag the battle out as long as you can, you'll see this.
Dr. Sonic, isn't Chocola with you? It's been with Sonic, and we never saw Froggy or Chocola.
So not only is she in this fight with her friends, they aren't even fighting for a real reason. This is probably the worst situation for Cream. She isn't a violent person at all, and when she uses violence, she only uses it to help her friends. Now she's in this fight, expected to use violence to hurt her friends. And that's something she just can't do. Yet, she's in this fight. She doesn't know how this happened, but her friends are fighting each other and she doesn't know what to do. Luckily for her, Team Sonic most likely throws the fight and just runs away, leaving Team Rose as the victor. And with a somewhat peaceful resolution to the sudden fight, the adventure can continue. But this is an important moment for Cream. She is indeed aware that this is not at all what she signed up for. But it's already too late. Her friends need her, and she already agreed to rescue Chocola and Froggy. And it would be incredibly rude and inconvenient for her friends if she quit right then and there. And Cream isn't about to become rude or leave her friends out to dry. So she continues on the adventure, but somewhat reluctantly. Then, after encountering Robotnik 2 more times, Team Rose meets the Chaotix, who are strangers to Team Rose. SBO demands they hand over cheese, which makes Cream assume that they took Chocola. To be fair, SBO said it in a really...
Now hand over that chow nice and easy.
...villainous way.
Now hand over that chow nice and easy.
Probably the most out-of-character moment for him. But anyway, they fight with other people again. Only this time, it's not friends versus friends, it's potential bad guys versus friends. Cream, clearly showing before this moment how far she's willing to go for her friends, participates in this fight, but only to support her friends and protect Cheese. With them out of the way, the three teammates go through Hang Castle, fight some robot hordes, then they're at the final stage, Egg Fleet, and Final Fortress. They defeat Dr. Robotnik once and for all, Big is reunited with Froggy, and Cream and Cheese are reunited with Chocola. Then Cream notices aloud that Sonic is there too, which of course is Amy's cue to do that. So yay, it's a happy ending once again. Another rescue mission was successful. Only Cream still remembers the feelings she had during this adventure. Uncomfortable, worried, scared even. The beliefs that Vanilla taught her seem to be right after all. Kind of. Violence does lead to more violence, but Cheese and Chocola were reunited because her friends and Cream took them back by force. But people she cared about got hurt in the process. Team Sonic, her friends, were fighting with Amy and Big, her other friends. She essentially had to choose between who to hurt and who to help. But Cream didn't want to make that choice. She would have rather found a peaceful solution like her mother taught her to. And yet, she seemed to be the only one with the problem. Everyone else acted like it was nothing, so she supposed she would too. After all, Team Sonic wasn't hurt and everyone was reunited again. It was nothing, right? But I believe this personal experience shook the naive Cream. She probably felt like friends should never fight, though, unfortunately, friends do end up fighting all the time. It's a part of life. You have to have fights with your friends, even when there is no actual reason for the fight to happen. Everyone else knows that because they're older and mature, but she isn't. So she's stuck with this feeling that she's done something wrong, and she doesn't really have time to ponder on it or ask her friends for help. Because, oh no, here comes a real big battle, God! Neo Metal Sonic is revealed to be the real mastermind, and the typical last story battle happens. Nothing really to note for Cream specifically here, other than the fact that she was terrified when Neo Metal was transforming into Metal Madness. That doesn't really say much. Cream's a little girl. Of course something like that happening right in front of her would scare the crap out of her. It'd scare the crap out of me. I'm a grown man. Anyway, with Heroes over, Cream most likely just goes back home to Vanilla, and something that I really think needs to be addressed in canon is just how much Vanilla knows about Cream's adventures. Like, does she know all the intimate details of how dangerous all of these exploits are? But I'll save that for later. Next, let's move on to the glorious, the illustrious, the always amazing Sonic Battle.